Hello! Welcome back to Planner Apocalypse. My name is Maureen. People call me Momo or Momokeen. That's the name of my channel. Today I'm actually going to be just doing like a weekly spread and migration because I've gotten some questions about the Alastair method, and that is something that I use in the Memento Mori Goal Planner, which is a planner that I designed. So I thought I would just take you through how I migrate my tasks and set it up in the Alastair method of task keeping and such. So this will also involve, you know, the decorating of the spread as well. So I have these washi stickers from Stationery Pal and this mini Stargazer Happy Planner book that I'm going to be pulling from. Pisces season is going to be on the 18th, so I was looking for, you know, some kind of fishy, dreamy stuff to decorate this week. So here we go. I filmed a couple of videos, like review videos recently. One of them should be up already. I am kind of behind on my other video plans, but that's fine. So with these stickers, I didn't realize that, you know, you can actually peel this off. Other ones that I've gotten, like washi wise, you've had to cut out and then peel the backing off. So I just assumed they were like that. So oopsie. But yeah, we have Valentine's Day on the 14th, of course. So I've got this little thing with hearts on it. I think I will just use that because it's cute. And for Pisces season, the fishes, we're gonna use this fishy and put that right here. We also have the new moon in Pisces coming up. If you're in, you know, the Pacific time zone, it will be on the 19th, and then the 20th for those in the Eastern time zone, like me. I think I'm gonna go with this girl here who looks kind of contemplative. I was originally gonna go with the braided hair girl here, but I don't know what it is about Pisces season, but it's often rough in the mental health department for me, so I'm gonna just kind of use this one as my way of anticipating and representing that. And I'm gonna trim the excess. For some reason, there's someone's hand-lettered thing. It says Tom Holland. What the heck? I'm not using that, but I just think it's funny. I'm gonna use this other fish around here somewhere. I should probably also check my schedule to see what's actually happening, so I'm not putting things where they, you know, covering things up where they need to be not covered up, you know what I mean? Well, I guess while we're waiting, I know that I have stuff on Wednesday, and I need my therapy couch for Wednesday as well. Oop. I stole it. I stole it from myself. Boop. These therapy couches are from Sparkle and Shine Designs on Etsy. And this is a Sakura jelly roll in white, so I can, you know, write on the black little couch. And this is a Coffee Monsters Co. little folder that I'm just using to house some stickers. I really need to get some things done today, so maybe I will use this little Shine Sticker Studio working sticker because I gotta film and edit some stuff. I have an Art Bujo video that I want to film. There's a lot of like very odd sticker choices in this sticker pack, but I like it anyway. A lot of whales, space whales, because they've got, you know, stars and stuff in them. Got a lot of moons and stars, and we got a wizard hat. I'm not super great with like decorating. I just kind of slap some stickers down and then call it a day. So I think I will call it a day. I think I'm gonna just put this little triangle on first, and then I will be done. That's crooked, but it is what it is. It's fine. Okay, I lied. I want to put this flower on too. Put it over here. Here we go. See, and I didn't even need any of the any of the other stuff in any of these other things. I just don't care. All right, so we are going to. Where'd my pen go? There it is. I'm just gonna write down all of my appointments, and then we will get on with the. My D&D emoji. So I got a game on Saturday. I'm actually not sure what time we're doing it. There was talk about doing it earlier. My DM and his wife both have COVID, unfortunately, so I think we're doing it virtually. I just don't know what time it is, so I'm gonna leave it blank. And I think that's really all that I have scheduled for this week. Oh, 12 to 4, though it might be a shorter session. And then, of course, we are gonna do our meal plan and check in with my marvelous husband, Nicholas, and then plan next week. Okay, the focus for this week, and today is Monday because I'm filming things a little bit late. I was, also hoping that my daughter would be at work so she wouldn't be noisy. So the focus this week is going to be filming my art journal setup, I guess, and then getting that out. So I had planned on having it as like a Valentine's Day special, but I don't think it's gonna be out by tomorrow. I'm also gonna use this Get It Done sticker. Maybe I'll just slap it up there, sure. So in the Memento Mori Goal Planner, if you've never watched my videos before, it is a goal planner / life planner that I created that is death positive. I like turning things into goal planners, and I've decided that it's kind of based on the idea of like, if I were to die tomorrow, what, would I have regretted not doing with my life? And so this is to basically help myself get my actions into alignment with my values and my desires so that I can avoid having those regrets when I die. And if if that's not for you, that's not for you. But that was the motivation behind making this. It's up in my Etsy shop if you are interested in it. I just glued my pages into my Hobonichi cousin because I wasn't using the weekly pages for like most of it. And I used the daily pages to do, it's kind of a mess right now, but so we are here to migrate some tasks. So the weekly spread has the moon phases and also the astrological sign that the moon is in at the time. So these are just extras. You don't have to use those things if those things are not your jam, They're part of the system so that you can use these things as triggers to think about reflecting in your own life. Mainly, the moon is there to act as like your reminder to rest. The moon is full, it looks full of life, then the moon, kind of slowly loses its light. It's, it's resting, right? So we want to be mindful and conscious about what we ourselves are doing with our own bodies and whether we are giving ourselves the time, space, and grace to actually rest. So that's what that's all about. If you want to bring, the woo stuff into it, that's totally up to you. I am a big fan of the woo stuff, obviously, but you can apply it in a practical way as well. So, okay, I just got I color code my tasks so that I can see at a glance, like, I had a lot of green stuff this week. So that's my finance color, right? Green like money. Did I do all of it? I worked on some of it, but I did not. Most of it is going to be migrated to this week. So when you're migrating your tasks, you should always think about, is this really serving a purpose for me? Like, because if you're continually migrating it, are you actually going to do this thing? Do you actually want to do it? Why have you not done it yet? And I think for me, I'm just not making writing a priority right now. I've got, a lot of heavy things to deal with recently, so it's just not really on my mind, even though writing would definitely help to alleviate some of that pressure, because writing for me is very cathartic. So yeah, anyway, here we go. We did the weekly review already, so we don't have to worry about that. Every weekly spread has a weekly review so that, you can keep track of your progress on your focal life zone area things, your life domains or whatever. All right, so the Alastair Method is a way of categorizing and filing your tasks, and I can put the guy's name up here. Alastair, I don't remember his last name. I wrote all about it in the Memento Mori Goal Planner as I'm explaining what it is because it's a part of the planner. You literally don't have to use it if you get this planner. However, it is built into the page if you decide to use it. So if you've ever played Battleship, you know, you have the grid, like A1, you would go A, and then to the first line, and then you meet in the middle. Similarly, you have your contexts up here on the top. For us, with a weekly task list, you can also watch Plant-Based Bride's video on the rolling task list or the rolling weekly. Alastair had originally used this as a way of future logging in his bullet journal. So in his case, the context up here were the months of the year. For us, in this planner, the contexts are the days of the week. Other ways of using it that I've seen would be to list, for example, the getting things done method. You know, you can use something like this as an inbox. So you would have like the context of, let's say it's a location, right? My computer, the car, the office, at home, to talk to, or the phone or something like that. So if you have a task come in, you can write it down and then be like, well, it's related to this context here. Like, I need to talk to Mary, but she is at the office. So like you would write your task, talk to Mary, and then write, you know, in the context of the office. But for us, I'm not trying to confuse anyone, so I'm apologizing in advance. For us, the contexts are the day of the week, and you basically write all of your tasks down, and you can decide when you want to schedule things. I typically don't, because I don't necessarily have to have a daily to-do list that I'm writing down every day. As long as I have like a weekly task list of stuff that I want to get done this week, that's what works for me. I like to know when it got done, so I'm not cluttering up my days and missing appointments because it's such a mess. So let's just migrate the tasks and then we can talk about stuff. For example, I am going to be making some printable tarot stickers from my Etsy shop. It did not get done. So the bullet here, this is your bullet context, I guess. It is getting migrated. That's why it looks like a little arrow pointing that way. So it's being migrated to next week because I didn't do it. Same with like most of the tasks on my list. If you're unfamiliar with the bullet journal way of doing things, this is your key, okay? This is a task and it's indicated by this little bullet right there. Hence the bullet journal method. So like you can use the bullet journal method in literally anything. It doesn't have to be a blank or dot grid notebook. Like you can use it in a planner, which is what I'm doing. It's just a method of keeping tasks. So this is a task with just a bullet. My way of marking my tasks differs from Ryder Carroll's, the author of the bullet journal method. So just bear that in mind. For me, if I've started on a task such as, you know, the budget layout for my budget workbook, I will make a slash in it. And this is started, because when you X out your bullet, that means it's completed. So when you have a task that you want to migrate to next week, or, you know, whatever, next month, it depends on whatever you're doing, you make a little arrow forward, and notice that every shape here can make up an X. So let's say I had started planning for Sunday and I said that I was going to migrate something, and then that night I actually took care of it. What I could do is just go in, say it's like this, I could just complete the X and now it's done. Let's say you have a task that is no longer relevant. You can just cross it out. I know some people like to cross things out as a way of saying that you did that. And, you know, if that's you, do whatever works for you and your system. This is just how I do things. I rarely cross things out, which might actually be why, there's one. Why I tend to feel stuck a lot. See, this is like, I got a lot of stuff done these times, but this past week was not very, I feel like also by crossing tasks off and eliminating them or deleting them, you're also trying to keep tasks that are relevant to what's going on in your life right now, and instead of having lingering tasks. So instead of, you know, still thinking about the January budget sheet that I didn't do in January, I could literally just cross this out because it's no longer January and this is just weighing on my mind. This is like mental clutter, and it's also taking up a slot in my task list that could be used for something more relevant for the time that I'm actually in. So if I have like a task here, I'm not using my big thing, a task here, sometimes what I'll do is make like an L shape and then another bullet. That's a subtask. That means it's, you know, it's a task related to the task that I just listed. For example, I wanted to finish my 𝖍𝖐𝖓𝖊𝖓 plan for Q1, and then related to that is reset my Kanban board, which I still have not done. Yeah, so that's that. Down here, I also have space for habits, and these are going to be, or they're supposed to be, the habits that will be listed on my stuff this month sheet, which I have to fill in. So going back to the context, what you can do is if there's a certain day that you are scheduling a task, what you can do is take your little pen and let's say you want to log your 2022 expenses in your spreadsheet on Thursday because you have time on Thursday. You just draw a bullet there. If you ended up not doing it, which this is exactly why I don't do this. I just kind of do things when I do things. You can either just like do a migration thing or just continually make dots until you do it. We're going to just start migrating tasks and then we shall go from there. So starting with the first one, I'm drawing my bullet and then I'm writing printable tarot stickers. I'm drawing another bullet for Momodis. And I'm just gonna go down. Remember to always make your bullet and then write the task. You don't have to color code things. It's just easier for me. I like doing it. There are some times when, you know, I am away from my pens, so I don't color code, and that's fine. Do whatever is gonna work for you, and always remember that the simpler you make things, the easier it will be for you to keep up with things. I like to complicate my life to the nth degree, so it's not always helpful, but it's just the way I do things. It works until it doesn't for me, you know, so do what feels right to you. Okay, so that takes care of migration, and most of this stuff was migrated. I also need to fill this out, but I feel like, whoopsies, there go all my matches. Yeah, I'm not gonna focus on that right now. So as you can see, we've got all of the tasks written down. Today is Monday. Usually if I have a deadline for something, in a red pen, I will like highlight the box. I'm trying to think if I have. So this online course thing, the free workshop is disappearing today. So I know that I need to do this today before the videos disappear because I want to fill my head with knowledge. So that's my deadline. If I were to, you know, put a dot there and schedule it, that means, well, I want to do it today, so I'm going to do it today. Let's do a for example. So I'm starting an art journal about otome games. Okay, that's the spoiler. And I would like for it to go up tomorrow for Valentine's Day. So this video that I'm filming right now will probably go up after that one. So we have otome journal set up, and I want that to go up. Like, so tomorrow is the deadline for that. And I need to write like a script or at least brain dump some ideas so I'm not waffling and going off on tangents the entire time. So I want to have that also done by tomorrow. That is the deadline for me. Whether or not I do it on Monday or Tuesday, doesn't matter to me as long as it gets done by Tuesday. So that's one modification that I've made aside from the subtasks that has been helpful. Again, because I like visual things, so colors help a lot. So I'm not putting, you know, a dot here because I'm not like scheduling a day for my task. It has to get done either today or tomorrow. And I know for a fact actually that I'm going to be recording the setup today. It's just, you know, all the other stuff. I'm like, oh. So when you get down to your habits, as you can see, I only wrote one day this week. Habits don't have a bullet because they are never done. It's a maintenance thing. It's something that you're going to do every day or however many times a week that you agreed on with yourself. For example, homeschool, I have Saturday and Sunday kind of grayed out because I don't homeschool on the weekends. I apparently also didn't homeschool last week. But there are some days here where I only did half my routines. So I only did either in the morning or the evening. I think it was probably in the morning and not the evening. So I only did one slash there. So those are just like indications that you can use. However it's going to work for you is going to be the right way. You know what I mean? As I've mentioned in previous videos, the most important thing in your planning situation is going to be you and whatever is going to work for you. I think I'm actually going to make a video about that, but that's really basically it. Here's this week. This is the everything else box. That's part of the system. I use it for project and task time management for my 𝖖𝖊𝖓𝖓 stuff, and I know I've talked about this before, so I'm really sorry if you're like, ugh, I've heard this already. But I tend to avoid things because I don't know how long it's going to take, and I just assume that because it's a big thing, it's going to take a really long time, and so then I drag my feet on it, and then, you know, this happens where I'm migrating the same tasks over and over again because I'm just like, there's not enough clarity. So I track my time with 𝖘𝖊𝖓𝖓 so that I can eventually get some kind of idea about how long tasks are actually taking me versus how long I think they're actually going to take. And so we've got, you know, the estimated task blocks here. A task block in the 𝖍𝖊𝖓𝖓 system is a Pomodoro, so 25 minutes with a 5-minute break. Also, I found something incredible that has really helped. There's a YouTube channel called Pomodoro Cat that plays lo-fi music. It has cute pixel cats, and then it has like Pomodoros and those 5-minute breaks like built into the music. So you play while there's music, then you hear like a 4-second countdown with a bing, 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 and then silence. You have 5 minutes to like go pee, get a drink, you know, talk to your friend that Harry and I were co-working on our last writing thingamajig last week, and it was super nice. And so I highly recommend Pomodoro Cat. There's probably other music Pomodoro kind of, I almost said stations. What is this? It's 1975. Pomodoro channels, you know, on YouTube, but that's the one that I found, and I like cats. So there you have it. Anywho, I'm going to set up this little block for my time tracking. Another way that I thought about using this was either a weekly budget or a like weekly expense tracker. Like if you're not interested in tracking your time, which is totally fine. Sometimes, and I've discovered this with my Fitbit, sometimes you have access to all this data, but it doesn't actually help you gain any sort of clarity in your life. So I guess the question is, you know, what are you using it for? And don't call me out. Yeah, I'm just gonna set this up real quick and then that's that. Okay, so that is set up. And what I'm gonna do now is just take a look at last week and figure out what projects did not get done that I'm going to be working on this week. Okay, so that's basically it. I've got, let me get my silly little highlighters here. So every goal domain in my planner thingy has like a color that I associate it with it. If I could actually find my little doohickey here. These are all my colors. So I've got, you know, goal number 1, 2, 3, which I've, you know, determined are my finances, my Etsy, and my writing, and also videos. Those are my focus domains for this month, and or actually for this quarter. So goal number 1 is my finances. As you can see down here, it says goal number 1. I'm gonna just highlight that green because that is that domain color. Goal number 2 was my Etsy. So I'm just doing my colors. And then in 𝖍𝖎𝖓𝖙, you have recurring tasks that you have to account for because everything takes up time. And then, you know, I just do like a highlighter on the very bottom row because this is your total weekly Pomodoros or your total weekly time that you spent doing stuff. Like last week I spent almost 40 hours tracking stuff. So that's almost like a full-time job, but you know, some of it was just having fun because having fun is important. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm just gonna fill in my mood today, which is kind of all right, and my energy's okay. That's basically it. If I did a shit job of explaining this, I am really sorry. If you have any more questions, just let me know in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. Sometimes when I'm just, you know, riffing without sitting down and thinking about things, you know, it gets very jumbly in my head. Anyone who's seen my videos know how I can ramble, so apologies if it was rambly. And if you like what you see, think about subscribing and liking, and it helps my channel and all that stuff that we all hear about, the YouTubes. So yeah, everybody, I hope your Pisces season is nice and dreamy, and have a good time. Okay, bye!